The left lane activities are commencing here on SiriusXM Shade 45. The YouTube channel is youtube.com. At the Inphamus Amadeuz, where you can catch me professionally minding my fucking business tone from all the drama and controversy that's going on in these hip-hop streets. The breakups are nasty. I want nothing to do with it. I'm minding my fucking business. They posting motherfuckers with bald heads. It's nasty work out here, Tone.
You made that like a trend, saying that, minding my business professionally.
I am. It's like a cue card.
More people need to follow that.
Yeah. And Mrs. Get Adam is always minding her business professionally as well.
God damn, I am.
Of course.
I mind that shit.
Man.
I don't want no heat.
The facts, man. Listen, we got my motherfucking brother in the building who knew me when I was first starting this journey. I wasn't even on the radio.
I didn't like that.
Yo, I don't even think I was shooting videos when I met you.
No, we were shooting videos. We were bringing models.
But when
through.
I met him, I think I just had models. Originally, I met him through Celise, who ran Club Miami. So that was like 2012? What year was that? Yeah, like 2012 maybe? It was a long time ago.
Yeah, we were bringing the
man.
models.
Yo, my motherfucking brother Ron Browz. Welcome to the Punchline Academy. What's up, man?
That's why I was trying to understand why you had me out there in the hallway that long, man. I'm your brother, man.
What's up, good brother? How you?
We good, man. We chilling, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. So listen, I've been enjoying, one of the things that I really enjoyed watching you do was bringing out like the MP and doing beats like on top of the mailbox and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of people like, yo, when you going? I get back to it.
Yeah. So what was the idea? Because this COVID time when you were doing it, or it was like a little after?
Yeah, a little bit after COVID.
Yeah, a little bit after COVID. Yeah. So what made you say you wanted to do something like that?
Well, Akai had brung out the MPC Live. Where,
okay.
You don't have to be hooked up to to the computer. I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. And I was like, yo, as producers, you got to find out different ways to market yourself.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. Then I sold a couple beats like that too.
Oh, so them actually seeing you do that?
Yeah, it was like, oh, let me get that one.
Yeah.
So I kept doing it, and eventually it landed me that the Diddy remix, the Move On remix.
Oh shit.
So I did the remix, posted it out live outside on 42nd Street.
And then
that's what sparked it.
Yeah. And then it just went crazy. So I mean, obviously people know the production catalog. Big Al, 50, obviously Nas. Last Real Nigga Alive is my better record that I like. But I don't think people talk about the contribution to auto-tune, because when you came out with that shit, see, when I was watching auto-tune early on,
somebody said it.
Finally.
I'm gonna tell you, I quit rap at this time, right? So when T-Pain was doing this shit, I'm like, I don't know if he could sing. And then I saw Wayne doing it, and I'm like, that nigga definitely can't sing. but you did it in a creative way, because since you're producing the record, you're curating it from scratch. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah, man, all of them is my sons. Right now?
Yo, listen. Fucking Yo, me a fucking round of applause.
All of them. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of the sound now is my influence.
Yeah.
Nobody was sing rapping like that.
I know.
Everything you turn on the radio, it's my
that's
influence.
all it is. Yeah.
And I ain't gonna say no names, but it's like 90% of the records you hear. That's my energy.
Mm-hmm. So what made you decide to like experiment with that technology? Because you're coming from like a boom bap background.
Yeah. So actually, 50 Cent did it on a hook. On the rider joint, yeah. I was like, yo, that's kind of clever. I'm gonna do something party.
Okay.
And that's when I created Pop Champagne. And I thought Pop Champagne was kind of like an accident. It was an experiment, because I was like, I thought you could just get the plug in and just go. Nah, you got to be on key. You really got to know how to sing. Yeah. I was like, yo, this is different. So that's why in Pop Champagne, it's no music at the beginning. It's just the drums. And then the music, because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, I got to figure this out. I sound off key with the music. So I took muted the music. That's why in Pop Champagne you hear me just going off of the drums at the beginning. That's kind of how that happened. Then they're jumping out the window, A-Rap money, and it just kind of.
So once the Pop Champagne record, now the phone lines are ringing.
Super ringing.
Yeah. Well, were people a little reluctant to work with you after Ether, or?
Nah, I got a lot of work after Ether. That's when I worked with everybody.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Fat Joe, Lil Kim.
So once that dropped, everybody's calling.
Not really, because at that time, New York nightlife was lit.
Yeah.
So I'm in the crib, and then, you know, shout out to my manager at the time, Fuzz. He was like, yo, we got to go outside. They don't know who did the beat.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started clubbing. And, you know, that's the days of the 2 ways. And they're like, yo, you did that?
Yeah.
Yo, boom, they'll send me something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the Flea records came out that I did. So I started going outside and linking with the artists. And they was like, oh, we didn't know you did that. So that's how that came about.
Started going crazy, Tom.
Yeah, you were mentioning that you had to market yourself differently. Right before we went on the air, I noticed you were playing with the camera.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you do the beats, you're an artist as well. That already takes 2 different skill sets using
What?
2 different parts of the
Now
brain.
you understand me. We in.
You know what I'm saying? So and then you also behind the scenes with the camera work.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
how important is it as an artist to like have so many talents and be able to cultivate them?
I'm gonna give you one. When COVID, when everything shut down, I was like, I ain't feel nothing. Pause. I was recording.
Yeah.
Got somebody, yo, this is the settings for the camera, film me. Edit videos, or during COVID, I was dropping content. I was putting music, loading music up to iTunes and all that. I didn't, you know what I mean?
It didn't affect you.
It didn't affect me. I was working.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage all artists to learn how to film, learn how to make beats, learn how to record yourself on your, you know, laptop or whatever, because, you know, it's essential.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't be blocked no type of way. If you can't get studio time, all right, let me just open up
You gotta be
laptop.
self-efficient. It's like the rush strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so talking about all the hits that we just mentioned, Pop Champagne, you know, all those hits that you had, no one really talks about or even brings it up that often, Ebonics. That's, in my opinion, that's one of the most lyrically clever made records, and you had a big part in that. Yeah. So do you feel that Ether overshadowed Ebonics at some point?
Well, Nas was a bigger artist.
Yeah.
Big L was an underground artist, and unfortunately he passed away. So he passed away right after we recorded Ebonics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he didn't get the full potential, but the underground world love. He's still known as one of the, you know, the greats. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it's just that Nas was a bigger it was a diss record. You know what I mean?
Those always go.
But Ebonics was definitely more like a clever
song. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had that premeditated because when we went to the studio, he had the vinyl of Nas. So, and you know, when Nas be like, I talk with street slang, he had the vinyl like,
wow.
So
that's
it was
crazy.
in his mind like, I'm gonna get somebody to scratch like. So I was like, this is premeditated. It must have been an idea. He just said, I need to hit the right beat.
Yeah.
So when I played on the beat, he was like, let me get that. Then he came, recorded it at the crib. Then he's like, yo, let's go to D&D studio and do it for real. We did it. He had the vinyl in his hand.
Type of thing, yeah.
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 So out there, then on the back of the vinyl, Ebonics said, produced by Ron Browz
Yeah,
and Big L. I said, oh. I see what you did. He like, I'm going to get some type of credit.
Yeah, that's super funny. I hear some of these stories about Big L, and this is pre-social media. And I'm hearing, you know, I hear Fat Joe saying stories. I hear this guy saying stories, Cameron. And I'm like, yo, during the social media time, he would have been a bully.
Yeah.
Yes, skinny dude.
Yeah, he was like a bully.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. The Punchline Academy here on SiriusXM, Shade 45. I got my guy, Ron Browz, in the building. We're going to play a classic. And then you know what time it is, the Punchline Academy freestyle here on Shade 45.